as possible. Listen, every week, Thursday night from 6 to 7, we commit to making sure you have the information that you need. We bring on guests. We tackle issues. We make sure that parents are empowered to make the difference in their children's lives. Listen up, everybody. It is very important that you understand that without you, your children are going to build on the foundation that you lay for them. So what we want to do is make sure you have the solid information to build on that foundation. So I'm here, joined again by my usual cast. I have both my sons here. First, I have my co-host.
It's Emmanuel. I'm sorry, we just trying to get the production together.
Hey, what's going on, Emmanuel? And we have the show producer.
What's up, everybody? It's Amir. We live on Facebook right now at the Samuel Radford page. Any comments y'all got, I'd love to be heard on the show.
All right, so listen up, everybody. We got two guests that we're going to be bringing in today, but let me just open up by sharing a couple things before we bring on both of our guests. The first thing that we want to do is we want to remind everybody that We the Parents is not only a show, We the Parents is an organization, and We the Parents will have monthly meetings from October to May. So we are on a membership drive. We want, if you are a person who you are a parent, you are a caregiver, you are a community person that's concerned about students. We want you to join the We the Parents organization. So We the Parents, if you want to join the organization, you can go to our Facebook page and you can just give us your information on our Facebook page, or you can call us at our office at 332-3773, 332-3773, or you can go, you can come on to the CAO website, caowny.org, and you can go to the Master Resource Center page and you can get our information there as well. So we will be making sure you will see information about all the information you're going to need about how to join We the Parents, but we're looking forward to you joining We the Parents and being part of our efforts to work together collectively to ensure that we meet the interests of meet the needs of all the parents. Right now, that has more meaning than ever. That meaning is because, as of last March, and this is, let me just take you all the way right there, everybody. Last March, when we stopped going to school, when we literally said, okay, based on COVID-19, we are going to go remote. How many people thought it was just going to last a couple weeks or a couple months? Because I was in that group. You know what I'm saying? How many people imagine that when we get to we just about October here, we will be still in a situation where we will educating our children at home? Now, listen to this, everybody. I'm being real with you. If you've been following this show, you know we've had doctors on this show. We've had experts on this show. And they told us that in all likelihood, children are probably not going back to school this year. You know what I'm saying? There's no pathway where they're probably going back to school before January. But if people are waiting for a vaccine or other safety, precautions where people don't feel concerned about sending their children to school, it's not likely that during this school year we are going to send children back to school. So what does that mean? That means we have to prepare for the change that's not coming, but the change that's here. The way we do education is change. So if you want to join our discussion today to talk about the solutions that we are putting forth on how we can change, you can join us here on Power 96.5 WUFO by calling 837-1112, 837-1112. Today we have two guests. We have on the first Black Businesses Matter workshop that's going to be starting next month. Both of these organizations have workshops that will be starting next month. So let me start off by introducing our first guest. Our first guest, I believe we're going to have Dr. Julius Adams and Ms. Deborah Thompson. Dr. Julius Adams is the executive director of the Buffalo EOC Partnership. And Ms. Deborah Thompson is the associate executive director. They have a program that they are going to be talking about called the Strategies to Educational Preparation for Parents program. And let me talk about why we have this on the We the Parents show, everybody. Because when we went remote, most people weren't prepared. Almost nobody was prepared. And let me tell you, not only were people not prepared, there is going to be, as a result of what's going on, everybody, there is going to be a widening of the opportunity gap, the achievement gap, because if you paying attention, we talked about this over the last couple months, private schools, people with means and resources, they're going to school. They're going to school every day like nothing has changed. Public schools are remote primarily. Charter schools are hybrid. Some are remote. Some, are doing a hybrid where they go to school a couple of days. But either way it go, we're going to have to take full and complete responsibility for making sure our children are kept up to speed. That's not going to happen by magic if you were not prepared. This STEP program, this strategies to educational preparation for parents, gives those parents who just don't know what to do, who if you're eligible for the program, they give you a pathway to help your children while you're learning remotely. This is a solution that we want to introduce into the community to make sure that our parents and our students don't get left behind. So who do we have on the air with us right now?
Hi, it's Julius.
Dr. Adams.
Hey, how you doing, Sam?
We can't say Julius Adams. When you did the work to become Dr. Adams, we have to say Dr. Adams on the We the Parents Show, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate all your hard work over there, all the years at EOC. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. And you?
It's a beautiful day to be alive, my brother. I have no complaints. Let's
Amen.
talk. Let's get right into this discussion. First of all, EOC has always been, a super asset to our community in terms of what it has done for the members of our community. Why STEP? Why strategies to educate to educational preparation for parents?
Well, this actually grew out. I think you did a great foundational piece for us. This grew out of a discussion we've had both with our staff, with the parents of the children that we work with, and out in the community. That many of the parents did not realize that they were becoming primary educators for their children. And while they've always been equipped and prepared and ready to support their children to be successful, this was a whole new ballgame. Many parents indicated that they were nervous, that they were insecure, that they were unsure that they could assist. And I think you brought up a very valid issue of the opportunity gap. My fear is that the pandemic is creating a larger, separate, but unequal environment in education.
Absolutely. We're seeing that. We're seeing that all across the board, Dr. Adams.
Absolutely. And so I met with my staff, and we talked about what could we do to assist the community, and the community being the community of our students and the community at large. And we came up with this program. It doesn't make them teachers. It doesn't make our parents or guardians master tutors. But what it does is give them a toolkit. The hope is that it makes parents feel more comfortable. It introduces them to some concepts. And at the end of it, gives them a resource guide. So it's a 4-week program. It is done all remotely, and we did that to accommodate parents who are trying to work with their children who are learning remotely. And also, we decided to break it up so that it is 2 sections or 2 classes per week, 2 hours per class for 4 weeks.
Okay, so I see that, Doc. So it starts on October 12th. It's 2 days a week, Monday and Wednesday, and you have it on here from 6 to 8 p.m. So does that mean a person have to be on there live, or can they watch it at a time that's convenient for them?
They need to be live, and because this is so new for us, we're experimenting with how we might be able to do it differently after this.
Okay.
That we've already had people ask, could we record this and then simply start developing a library? And we are eventually going to do that, but for the first couple, because we want to get the kinks out, we don't want to offer that up as a best practice yet.
Okay.
So as you stated, it's Monday and Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m., beginning October 12th. And the way it's going to work is the first class is like an overview and an introduction, and then we talk to the parents about time management.
Okay.
And I should state that this is really geared towards the K through 8 students, because we don't have the resources right now to deal with the high school students. but we hope to do that in the spring.
Well, let me just say this because that's really important. And parents who are listening, because working with K through 8 is very different than working with high school students. Even as I'm working with students who are learning remotely, the high school remote learning is very different than the elementary and middle school learning. So you're going to need a different set of skills to help your high school children than your elementary school children. So it's really good that you keeping those separate.
Absolutely. And just along that same line, when we talk about time management for a high school student, that's different because you're talking about people who may be more independent and may not need as much guidance or oversight. When you're talking about time management for K through 8, you're talking about people who you're going to have to understand that they need multiple breaks during the day, that you can't really model it like a regular classroom day because they need time to kind of get away from it and then come back to it. And also just helping parents develop in their children the ability to break tasks up into smaller parts, understand what they need to do, and manage their time. So that would be the first class.
Let me just say this for the parents listening too. One of the first things I realized when we were talking with parents on a regular basis, Dr. Adams, who are learning remotely, is that parents did not know what they did not know.
Right.
And so everything was hitting them as a shock and a surprise. They didn't realize what they needed to do. So the first two things that they needed to do, you covered. One of them is you got to manage your time. That's the first thing. But the other one is the space you have to make available for your children to learn in. Your children can't learn in the bed. You have to get your children up out of the bed to start the learning process, and you have to regulate that. You can't just let your children do that. But I see that you got 8 concrete things that they're going to be working on that they're going to walk away in terms of the deliverables. So the first one is time management. Then what are they going to be working on?
Then they'll work on reading for meaning, and it's basically to remind parents about the importance of comprehension, and also to encourage them to, within reason, encourage their children to read. When I was growing up, my mother threw away all my comic books, and I finally had to remind her, I'm one of your few children that read.
Uh-oh.
And
it led to Dr. Adams.
My siblings will kill me. I am lying. But the key thing is that reading comic books is not a horrible thing.
That's right.
Reading textbooks is not a bad thing. Reading books is not bad. Reading magazines is not bad. So it's getting to the point where you encourage your children to read. The more they read, the better they learn, the more they know.
Yeah, actually, Dr. Adams, one of the things I learned from one of the best teachers I have ever seen in my life, she said one of the ways that kids learn is through interest. You have to let them do what interests them. And let them learn how to read by reading what interests them, and then they can read the other stuff. If you force them to read stuff they're not interested in, then it's going to make them not liking reading. So if that's your thing is comic books, let them read the comic books.
And with the goal of introducing them to something else. Because I started with reading comic books, and then it led to my love of books. And so I think that's the key thing.
Amen.
And then the next class is basic child development. So, and we're not talking about, a college level where you learn this theory and that theory. It's just basic milestones, understanding that a kindergartner will probably need more direction, will probably need more structure, that telling them to do a 6-step task is setting them up for failure, but that an 8th grader should be able to do more of those types of tasks.
That's right.
So it's just understanding what is a normal or typical developmental milestones in children.
And let me just add this for parents, especially if you're a young parent. I mean, I was a teenage parent, and one of the things that you learn as a young parent, and we have a lot of them in our Buffalo Public Schools, is that you don't know what you don't know. So therefore, there are things that they're developmental milestones that your children should be hitting that you usually have to learn by experience. If you have somebody giving you guidance and direction on what they should know, what they need to know, that's a difference maker. So getting this information can make the difference between whether your children get prepared or not.
Absolutely. The 4th class is making science fun. And the way we're approaching that is we're not trying to make science for each grade, but we believe that if you make science interesting, if you understand the scientific method for that age group, that again can increase their creativity, it can increase their understanding of things. So it's an ability or an attempt to help parents as their children are getting assignments or tasks or projects, how can I as a parent or as a guardian help them as they navigate this? So the science is really just a matter of trying to keep the children interested and introducing parents to the scientific method and how they can make science fun at home.
Period. Very good. I mean, people take scientific methods for granted, but it's really one of the foundational tools that will make the difference in your long-term education. So that's a good one, Doc.
Exactly. And then the next one is the one that may cause the most frustration for parents.
It ain't no may cause. It definitely, this is the biggie.
And this is understanding Common Core math.
Yes.
Now, what I have to say, because when parents hear that or guardians, they get excited because they think we're going to teach them Common Core math, and we're not. That the goal of this is to talk to them about the fact that the new math, the new core, the new standard, really is looking at not just math. So when you talk about math, when I was a child, you were talking about the ability to add and subtract, the facility with numbers. When you talk about math now, you're talking about both the ability to read and facility with numbers.
Right.
So math problems are very different. So the goal of this is to introduce the parents to how different math problems are now, how they might be able to assist and work with their kids, and really what math or Common Core math looks like.
That's right.
And this piece is really going to be tied more to the last class, which is going to be the resources that we talk about.
Well, let me just say this about Common Core math. I was on the governor's Common Core commission to look at Common Core, and really a lot of parents are misinformed about how important Common Core is in terms of it's preparing your child for getting them college and career ready. And college and Common Core math, being honest with you, by the time you're in fifth grade, you really need a content area specialist to really help you understand Common Core math. It's multiple ways of solving the problem. It's not the math that we had when we were children. So it's important that parents understand this, and so I'm glad that this is part of the curriculum.
And I must state before I go on that no matter what we do, the key thing is if a parent is struggling with helping their child, go back to the classroom teacher. Ask the classroom teacher for assistance. If the teacher can't help you, contact the principal. If the principal can't help you, contact the superintendent. In preparation for this class or these classes, we went and looked on the website of multiple school districts. Some districts' websites are phenomenal, and some of them confused most of us.
Wow. So
because it's a matter of how it's structured. I don't know if they're educating their parents in its use, and maybe we miss that. But always start with the classroom teacher.
That's right.
The next class that we have is after understanding Common Core math is staying on task, and basically that's how do you help your child focus or concentrate. And this goes back to the issue of if you can assign a specific place or space for your child to do their homework or to be educated. Because if they're learning remotely, your home becomes their classroom.
That's right.
And let's say you only have a kitchen table, that's it. Well, then make sure that during the time that your child is learning, that the kitchen table is cleared so that the only thing that's on it are the information related to the learning process.
Exactly.
Or homework or whatever.
That's it.
So it's remembering that the attention of a 5-year-old or a kindergartner is different than the attention of an 8th grader.
And that may seem like a small thing, Doc, but that attention to details, those small things are big things. You got to put children in the mindset that this is school for these hours. And then you got to change the setting after that so it can go back to being home. It's one of the hard things to do, but people who do this well, that's one of the fundamentals that they do. They make sure the house becomes schools during school hours.
Exactly. And I'll be the first to tell you that we are asking parents to do an incredible thing.
That's right.
That for those people who thought teaching was an easy task or teachers had it easy, I can honestly say they have figured out that that's not true right now.
Okay.
and that the key thing is that parents are the caretaker. They're the individual that is providing a home for their child, and they are the individual that is providing guidance as they provide this education.
That's right.
So it is really, my hat's off to them. I have a 20-year-old daughter, and we both laugh because we're so happy she's not in K-12 right now.
Uh-oh. All right, so Doc, we are coming short on our time, so I want to make sure that we clear about what is the eligibility, because this is not for everybody. There's a really specific target population that this is meant to go to. So, did we cover all the class, or did you have one more class?
We have two more classes
Okay.
very quickly. One of them is just fostering creativity.
Right.
And the goal of that is to get parents to help their children become creative so maybe they can attack projects or tasks differently. And then the last one is we are currently amassing a listing of educational resources that a parent can use after the class.
Okay.
So they can use it to, go online and for assistance. One of the key things is Engage New York out of the New York State Education Department.
Yes.
That they can use. In terms of eligibility for the
Well,
Buffalo
before you do
Education-
that, so those people who we're gonna start to wrap this up. But if you got a question or a comment, you can call us at 837-1112, or you can put it on the Facebook. Just put it down there, and we'll try to get at least a couple questions in before we lose Dr. Allen. So, Dr. Allen, what is the enrollment criteria? What is the eligibility criteria? Who is this for?
The eligibility criteria for the EOC is straightforward. Number one, you must be at the poverty level. Number two, you must be a resident of New York State for the past 12 months. And number three, you should have, if you went to college, you should have less than 33 credits. Now, let's say you don't meet all three of those. Because of the strong need for this in the community, we are willing to first fill classes with people who meet the criteria, but we're saving spaces for those who don't, because we think it's critical to help our children.
So this is a really important point. So if you out there and you need this is for you first and foremost, right? But if you're somebody who you got the basics of this, you got some, college training, and you got, and you don't. This is for the people who definitely need the support to help their children. Whether you're a parent or a grandparent or other caregiver, it's for you. But after it fills up with them, we're looking to make sure that everybody who ultimately needs this can get into this program. But let's let those who need it the most first get it.
Absolutely. And they can call us directly at the EOC.
Okay.
Our number here is 645-1900. And if they want, they can contact one of the admissions counselors. Her name is Doobie Sanchez, and Doobie's number is 645-1871. And if they don't remember any of that, go to our website. It's just buffalo.edu/EOC. And they can navigate that to the admissions office.
All right. So so this starts on Monday, October 12th. When is the time that they have to register by to get into this class?
By October 13th.
So they got the first class is October 12th. That's a Monday, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Correction. It's by October 10th.
Okay, so you gotta register by Friday, October 10th. Classes start Monday, October 12th. So you only got so we're gonna be talking about it every week until then. But listen, everybody, this is a wonderful opportunity. Please join us. Who was that said that this is October 10th? Who was that?
That was Deborah.
Deborah.
Hey, Deborah, I didn't know you was on the call too. Hey, Deborah,
Yeah,
how are you doing today?
Good.
All right. So anything else y'all want to say as we move to close?
We want to thank you for your support. We do appreciate this. This and the other services that we have at the EOC for parents. They want to do vocational training or high school equivalency. They should see us. But please, even if you don't believe you're eligible, seek us out, because this is that important to help your children.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Adams. Appreciate all the wonderful work you do over there at EOC, and we will make sure we try to get this information to parents. Parents let other parents know so that we get that class full with the people who need this services. All right. We've been here at the Power 96.5 WUFO talking to Dr. Julius Adams with the EOC program. We will see you on the other side of the break with Black Businesses Matter.
If your husband or boyfriend has a drinking problem, how does it make
Thank
you
you.
feel? Worried?
All right, we back here at Power 96.5 WUFO. Listen up, everybody. The first half of the show, we really were committed to making sure you got some solutions, especially in this remote environment that we are learning in, everybody. This is a change. We are the way we educate our children are changing. We as parents have to take responsibility for making sure we have a plan so that our children don't get left behind as we transition into this remote world that we live in. Now, that's the first level of it, everybody. The first level of it is what happens for our children. But as parents, we have to start preparing ourselves and our children for the world that's coming. This world that we dealing with each other remotely it's just the new reality. And if you're not prepared for the new reality, you're going to be left behind. It's going to be like if you out here using tapes and CDs in the world of digital. You know what I'm saying? The tapes, I remember when we used tapes, we thought that was, somebody came in and said, we're going to switch over to something, and you got to buy a new piece of equipment. You got to spend $10 on that new piece of equipment. Who thought that people would switch over to CDs? You know what I'm saying? But we did. And all of a sudden, tapes was gone. And then they came and they just got rid of that and went digital. Listen, the world changes, and the world changes fast. Businesses, the same thing happening. We are going through a major shift in the consciousness of our country, and black businesses matter in this shift. But if you're a black business and you're not prepared for the shift, you are going to get left behind. We are super fortunate that we have some partners that are working with the Community Action Organization, with the Buffalo Urban League Young Professionals, and don't let me say it wrong, Dixon Schwabel.
Dixon Schwabel, you got it.
Yeah, and I read about Dixon Schwabel. Y'all got it going on over at Dixon Schwabel. Clearly, people like to work for y'all. So it's great to have our partners on the show today. So talk to us about the Black Businesses Matters workshops that will be starting here next week. Starting here next week here in Buffalo. Who do we have that's going to go first?
Yeah, so everyone, my name is Mark Glasgow. I serve as the president of the Buffalo Urban League Young Professionals. And what we do is we serve as a empowerment forum to engage young people between the ages of 21 and 40 to be involved in the Urban League movement. And we also support the missions and advocacies of the Buffalo Urban League through the advocacy also of the National Urban League. And the black businesses.
Well, before you go there, let me just say, Buffalo Urban League Urban Professionals' reputation precedes you. You know what I'm saying? There's no question about it. I mean, not just locally. I work with Urban League across the country. Buffalo Urban League Young Professionals has done an awesome job of preparing young professionals in this community and other places in this country. So, kudos to Buffalo Urban League's Young Professionals. Why black businesses matter?
Black businesses matter because, we want to be able to prepare people for the shift, just like you were saying. We are living in an unprecedented time, new climate for business, and black businesses are being impacted more than ever, more than any other population with their business ventures. And we want to be able to support and equip them with the much needed tools that are necessary to lead them down the path of success and further growth. And, as we know, black businesses have, for a long time and continue to be very disadvantaged and, set back as far as their access to capital and resources to really give them the necessary advantages that they need to succeed.
Well, because I've done the research now, I know why you chose Dixon Schwabel as your partner. It's very clear. But for those who don't know, why Dixon Schwabel as the partner to help do these workshops?
Well, so this workshop series is specifically geared towards supporting marketing and branding for your business. Right. And as with that being the case, Dixon Schwabel was the perfect partner for that type of area that we're trying to support. We want to be able to support black-owned businesses and being able to tell their story, and not just tell the story, tell it effectively, and being able to, let the community know that Buffalo has these very talented businesses out there, and it's just a matter of being able to, get that word out there, tell your story effectively, and get those visuals out there that really would draw in the clientele that these black businesses are more than deserving of.
Well, I'm gonna give you a chance.
right.
I'm gonna give you a chance to blow your own horn, right? You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
well-
But before you tell us about the actual workshops, tell us about Dixon Schwabel, and this wonderful resume that you got. You know what I'm saying? Talk to us a little bit about it.
Dixon Schwabel, well, I'm very proud of this initiative because it comes from two of our people at Dixon Schwabel. So we're a marketing, advertising, public relations firm. I'm a Buffalo born and raised guy.
All right.
My wife started the agency in Rochester before I knew her. Placed an ad for help in Buffalo. I answered her ad. 2 years later, we were married. Here we are now.
You started working for her first. All
All
right.
So my wife hired
Well,
me.
she closed the sale
Yeah,
then.
she didn't let me have any time to see anybody else. But anyways, so we give time for each of our people to give back to the charity of their choice or the community cause of their choice. So two of our Buffalo employees came up with this idea, Aaron Haskell and Marquise Burton. And some of your listeners may know Marquise as 10,000. He's
Okay.
a freestyle poet.
Okay,
Excellent.
right
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I know 10,000.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
yes.
one
Okay.
and only.
See,
So-
I didn't know that was his real name. I only know him as 10,000.
Yeah. so this was their brainchild, and this was back in October, okay, before the world got crazy with
Yes.
COVID and Black Lives Matter and everything. So they said, let's offer workshops for businesses that can't afford to hire us. And then when the world went crazy, it took on a lot more meaning. And we reached out and joined these. I can't tell you, the community has been so overwhelmingly accepting of this initiative. I mean, we've got Madison Carter from Channel 7.
Well, before you
We've
go
got-
to who
yeah.
you got, let me
Okay.
just say this to the
Yeah,
community, right?
everybody, yes.
Because Dixon Schwabel, you the real deal. In other words, I mean, this is not a marketing firm that is, they are literally to have this level of expertise available to small businesses can be the difference maker. There's no way you probably be able to afford to bring them in.
Right.
So for them to be able to come in, to be able to offer this class, gives
At
you the
no
opportunity.
cost, at no cost.
Wait. Now, listen, everybody. First of all, this is real talk. It ain't at no cost. Everything costs. There's a time, the time it take, but this cost
Yes.
is an investment that will. And the only investment is your time.
right.
Normally, to get this level of support, this kind of information, this kind of workshop, you're gonna have to have time and money. You know what I'm saying? So this is not at no cost to you, but the quality of what you're going to get from the people that you're going to get is a difference maker. So let's talk about what are those things that will make the differences for that black business that they up in business, they got a good product or they got a good service, but they don't understand how to get it out into this new world that we're in. What are the workshops or the things y'all going to be doing with them to help them get them to understand?
Well, I think the basics is everyone has a story to tell, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
we're going to help these businesses find out what is your story? What separates you from the competition? Is it your people? Is it the service you offer? Is it your location? Is it whatever it is? And then once you understand that, then we're going to give them ways to promote it at low cost or no cost through social media and through all these things, public relations, earned media. So they're going to learn what makes them special, what their story is, what the story they want to tell, and how to tell it.
All right. So the first workshop starts on Wednesday, a week from next Wednesday, right?
October
So,
7th.
so 2 weeks from yesterday, Wednesday, October 7th, and that's marketing basics for small businesses. So who's going to be doing that workshop?
That is going to be our incoming CEO, Kim Allen, and our incoming president. I'm retiring at the end of the month.
Wow. Okay.
I'll
So
I'll still be around. Don't worry.
but we
I'll
got the
be
top of
around.
the food chain
Yeah,
doing this
yeah,
now.
yeah.
You said the incoming CEO and the president.
And the
Okay.
incoming president, Jess Savage, and then Adriana Viverette. Is that how am I saying that? On their
Yep.
personality?
Yeah, we
great.
know Adrian.
Yeah, I hope
Yes,
you
sir.
know. I
Yes,
hope you
sir.
know.
And it's going to be hosted by my boss. You know what I'm saying?
right.
That's right, the senior vice president.
Well, you got to give kudos to Catherine because Catherine is the person who came up with Black Businesses Matter.
Well, kudos to Catherine, but I'm used to that with Catherine. She really is the brainchild for most of the stuff that we do. And we talk about We the Parents. That was one of Catherine's brainchild. You know what I'm saying? So Catherine has been known for that in the CAO. We know her throughout the community for that. But she's going to be hosting the first event. All right. So the second event is on Wednesday, October 14th. And what are we going to be talking about there?
That's establishing your online presence. That's where Marquise, the brainchild behind this whole thing, comes in. He's going to be talking about front end, how to get a website up, and don't be scared of going online and creating a website. You got to have a website nowadays to talk, right?
So I was going to ask it, why is that important? Why do you have to have an online presence? If I got a brick and mortar or I got a tabletop business, why do I got to have an online presence?
Well, let's just be honest. You know, when I think of any type of business service I need, the first thing I'm going to do is go to a search engine, go on Google, you know, look it up. You know, you got to have that online presence to garner that foot traffic and attention to your business.
So nobody using the yellow pages no more.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I go right to Google. So
My grandmother still might do it, but I may look at me like, who does that?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? My kid.
You gotta have your online presence to let people know that you exist. Like, that's a great way to let people know you exist. And just beyond like the social media, yes, the social media can be a free platform, but to really show people that you're serious, sometimes you got to have that website presence.
So the billboard and the flyers, that's not going to work anymore.
That'll work too. That'll work too.
In conjunction, but it don't work without the online presence.
It can.
They're not going to be able to look up the billboard and be able to look up the flyer.
You need the engine to drive the car. All the parts come into play. But
I got you. All right.
Yeah.
So online presence, if you're serious about business, you got to get online. So that's just the bottom line. So that's the second week. The third week, we going into the 21st. And part one, the power of great visuals, telling your story. What are we talking about there?
Well, I think during COVID, we've all seen bad online videos or, people that don't know how to shoot and the things like that. So this is going to be the basics of, if you have a product, how do you shoot it to show it in its best light? How do you do an online video where you don't, half your head is cut off and those kind of basic things. Again, this is all basic stuff.
Let me just say this again for parents who are listening. This is when as we make this transition with our children, we got to be making sure our children understand this. Our children probably understand some of these things that we don't understand. Right. But we got to be able to make sure we are making this transition while we're there working with our children, learning remotely, while we're at home and we're starting to build our business, got a little bit more time than you have. You got to know the fundamentals. And if I've learned any one thing, you can't skip steps. You just got to, if you try to, get your business out there and you don't know the fundamentals. So on a real basic level, learn from experts. You know what I'm saying? So we got the power of great visuals, telling your story. Then the fourth workshop is Tell Your Story Part 2, Techniques to Garner Earned Media. So what is earned media? What is unearned media?
Earned media is when you get the media to cover you, like you're doing right now for us. Thank you.
Yeah, say hi to Facebook.
Yeah, so that's what earned media is. When you put your story out there and the media thinks it's worthy enough to cover. Paid media is when you pay to have your commercial.
Right. So parents, when we do these press conferences all the time, we do the press conference and we invite the press because then they put the show all our issues out there in the community for everybody to hear without it cost us anything. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know how to get your unearned. Now, how does that apply to businesses? How do small businesses get unearned media, as an example? You
know what? I was just a month ago. I went down to a little sub shop right around the corner here, and they had what was it? They had heart-shaped pizzas that they were sending to people for Valentine's Day or whatever. And
Lenovo.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
What was it? Nova, right?
Lenovo, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw the sign and I was like, that's brilliant.
And the news will cover that.
That's earned media, right?
Yes, the news will cover that.
What can you do with your business that's just a little different, that's going to step out and get people's attention?
And you know what? I apologize. I'm moving kind of fast. So what I did on workshop number 2 on establishing online presence, I didn't talk about who was going to be presenting that. And I didn't talk about who was hosting that. So let's just make sure that we give them some shine too. So who's going to be presenting on establishing your online presence?
Well, Marquise Burton.
Okay.
10,000.
Okay.
Front-end web developer. And then Josh Smith, one of our other Buffalo employees, he's going to talk about search engine optimization, which is using the right words on your website, using the right pictures, and because it's amazing. I don't understand all the we have people that do that.
Yeah.
But
it's a science. This ain't a luck. It ain't no luck thing. Either you know what you're doing or you don't.
Yeah. So he'll explain that, and then.
And so who? And it's hosted by who?
Glenn Coles, yeah. So Glenn Coles, a lot of people know him as DJ Coles.
Yeah,
so,
we know DJ Coles.
Yeah, so Glenn,
everybody got what their government name is on here. You know what I'm saying? We know nobody work their street name. Okay, yes sir.
So Glenn is a great friend of the Buffalo Urban League Young Professionals.
All right.
Glenn has brought a lot of some of the top entertainment to Buffalo over the recent years. So we invited him to serve as one of the hosts, and he was they're definitely on board with it. Yeah.
All right, great. And so in the third workshop, which is again October 21st, Telling Your Story, Power Great Visual, that's presented by who?
We got Pete Weiner from our video production team. He's fantastic.
Okay.
Jamal.
Yeah, we know brother
Yeah,
Jamal
yeah,
Cruz.
right.
He used to be like one of the officers for the young professionals.
Yeah, Jamil was the second president for the
Yes,
Buffalo
I
Urban League
remember it.
Young Professionals, and he currently serves as the National Eastern Region Vice President for the National Urban League. Young
Wow. Okay.
Professionals. So he went into a national role.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I know he also worked for the mayor for a while.
Yeah.
Then now he works for Say Yes. You know what I'm saying? So we know Jamil. His
And then your
reputation
partner,
precedes.
your
Yes.
partner,
Yes.
Crystal.
Yes, and we have Crystal Atwater from the Buffalo Urban League Young Professionals, who serves as our professional development chair. And Crystal, she's just a powerhouse all in herself.
Yes, she is.
She's a senior creative manager at Fisher Price.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got some young Buffalo talents.
Yeah.
We
We
gonna
got some
see these. We
talent.
gonna recognize these names early. So you better come get this workshop while you can, because pretty soon they gonna be too big and be able to get to it. All right. So, but that's gonna be hosted by. We all know, we see her on TV, on the news every week. That's Madison Carter, the news anchor at WKBW, and the president of the Buffalo Association of Black Journalists. So she's gonna be the host for that week. All right, awesome. So now that we caught back up, we are talking about Earn Media. Who's going to be hosting? Who's going to be presenting and hosting the Earn Media workshop?
The Earn Media Workshop is also going to be hosted by Madison.
Yes.
And,
Okay.
It's going to feature Nadine General, who's our vice president of nonprofit services at Dixon Schwabel. She's great. She also handles a lot of crisis communication, which every business needs to know how to handle that.
Yeah, they need to know they fix her.
Yep.
Yes.
And we got Dan Miner from Buffalo Business First, a reporter. So
Yep.
he's talking about that.
Yep.
And then Daphne Ross.
Oh yeah, well I see Daphne Ross. We know Daphne. You know, see Daphne, another Buffalo person, and we've known Daphne for a long time. She's from Say Yes, and her own business, CEO of Lineage Communication. So that's somebody you're familiar with. So wow, you got a lot of people here who we know what they're doing. So
I'm
that's
telling
awesome.
You, the community has been outstanding. in
This
their
is going to
support.
be a really worthwhile time. Listen up, y'all. If you haven't got this on your calendar, you need to get this on your calendar. Again, this is every Wednesday for the month of October, where you will have the opportunity. Well, not just October and November. So just get this on this calendar. 6 weeks, all right? So we are now getting ready to go into week 5, which is Wednesday, November 4th. Paid media and email marketing. So what's that about? Who's going to be presenting and hosting?
That's, if you can afford it, what do you do with radio, TV, paid media type of things? But then email marketing, which is very cost effective, and our person just graduated from, I don't know, she took some certificate. She's one of 100 people in the country right now that has a certificate.
Oh,
Her
wow,
name's
okay.
Emily Benson. She's our email marketing strategist at Dixon Schwabel. Aaron Haskell, who with Marquise came up with this whole idea, is going to be presenting. She's the senior media manager. And then it's all hosted by.
We also have Kenyana Davis.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I know Kenyana. Yes.
Kenyana, yeah.
You know everybody.
Yeah, wow. You got the right people. I see that y'all
hope
serious
so.
about this thing.
Absolutely.
Right
yeah.
on.
And then Edwin Jackson is going to be.
Yeah, Edwin Jackson, aka DJ Ed Nice. So he'll be one of the hosts as well for workshop number 5.
No doubt. Okay, so we're looking forward to seeing Ed Nice. And so the final workshop is going to be on, this really come down to the financing, the logistics, and the scalability. And those people who don't get it, if you got something that's working on a small level, getting it to be able to scale to the next level is really a science, and that is something that you cannot put a price on, knowing how to do that. So talk to us about what that means: financing, logistics, scalability, and getting the money you need to succeed. What are you going to be talking about? Who's going to be covering it? And who's hosting?
This workshop was the idea of Don Sanders Garrett, who's going to be presenting. I know you probably know Dawn.
I know Dawn,
you know
BMHA
Dawn.
for years.
She-
I mean,
BSG
really know what she's
consulting,
talking about. And I mean, it has dealt with it all across the board, whether it's commercial or government. She understands this stuff. She's the right person to be doing this workshop. That's awesome.
Yep, she's the one who brought it. Like I said, we were all focusing on marketing and all that, and she said, you know what, we need one on financing.
Yeah, you need the financing, but you also need the scalability. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people figure out how to do your local market, because that's what you used to do. You used to serve the people around you. The scalability, you know what I'm saying, getting to the next level is really, something that you really got to be thinking about, and especially if you know how to do a business plan. You got to have a business plan. You got to be thinking about scalability. You got to be thinking about who your competition is. Those are really the fundamentals, and it seems like you got the people who have done it. I mean, that's what's key here. Wow.
Well, we
All
told
right.
Dawn, hey, you want to do it? You do it.
Yeah, okay, so right on.
He stepped up and did it.
So listen up, everybody. This is Black Businesses Matters. If you want to join this discussion, you can call us at 837-1112, 837-1112. Amir is over there. He's monitoring our Facebook. If you got a comment or a question, you want to ask Buffalo, the Urban League Young Black Professionals or Dixon Schwabel, please, don't hesitate. Ask your question. Make your phone call again, 837-1112. All right. So anything else I want to talk about as it relates to the workshop? Any questions I may also?
Yeah.
Go.
Well, my first question is how are you guys going to gauge the success level of the workshops? Like, are you going to walk away with something? Are you looking for something within these workshops to walk away from to say this was successful, or we could be doing something better?
Yeah, so I think a key component into gauging the success of the workshop is to really, put out a measure for people to give feedback. We want to do a post survey to allow people to give their feedback on what worked for them as far as learning about how to strengthen and grow their business. What could we have done better? Just allowing that open and honest opportunity for them to report back to us what they thought about the series, so that we can improve in the future.
Well, I mean, and I'm trying to do this because I understand the quality of people you got. But a lot of times when you give something away, people don't understand the value of it. How do you get people to appreciate the value of what they're getting in this workshop when it's a free workshop?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, talk about giving stuff away. We are giving away one more thing. So if you register for this, your business will be entered into a raffle, and we will. Whoever wins that raffle will get a marketing review by Dixon Schwabel.
Yes.
By our
And
pros.
so let's talk about the value of that.
Oh, that she's
because this is really what I'm talking about. Because I mean, I've seen people, they don't understand that. First of all, the time that these people, the people that do this costs them time, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So this is not a free workshop.
No,
you know
my
what I'm saying?
CFO's been telling me that a long time.
So we gotta help people listening understand that you would pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for this information professionally. So to be able to get it right now, it's critical. So don't hesitate. Right now, if a person wanted to register for this workshop right now while they listen to this radio show, what they need to do?
They need to go to blackbusinessworkshops.com.
Yep.
Blackbusinessworkshops.com.
Let's make sure, is it Black Business or Black Businesses?
No, Black Business Workshops.
Okay, so Black Business, BUSINESS, blackbusinessworkshop.com. So you can go to blackbusinessworkshop.com. Amir, put it at the bottom of the screen. We're going to put it out there, so all you got to do is click it. Now, once they click that blackbusinessworkshop.com, what's going to come up on the screen?
They'll come up to a
the
landing page,
registration
and they'll just ask a few quick questions, and then you're registered for all 6 workshops. And the good thing is, if you can't make all 6 workshops, we understand these business owners work. They're all going to be recorded, and then you can go to them and review.
Perfect. That was my next question. It comes Wednesday. What time is the live workshop?
6 o'clock.
6 p.m.
Wednesday, 6 o'clock to what?
6 till about 7:30.
Yeah.
So 6 to 7:30 Wednesday. And what platform is it going to be on?
WebEx, right?
Okay.
Yes.
It's going to be.
I hire people.
Okay, I feel you, bro. So Wednesday, 6 to 7 on the WebEx platform. But once you register, once you go to blackbusiness.com to register, blackbusinessworkshops.com. Workshops with an S?
Yes, workshops.
Workshops with an S. Black Business Workshops with an S is at the bottom of your screen right there for those who are listening on Facebook. For those who are listening on the radio, Black Business Workshops with an S.com. Once you go there and register, you also will be able to go and review it later. You don't have to be on the live platform.
Right.
Is there a cap on the number of people that you're going to take in this workshop?
No, I got to tell you some
Okay.
good news. As of today, our team told us that now we just started promoting this, and this is the first radio show we're doing. We have 67 people signed up already.
Boom. Listen up, everybody. The slots is going quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
67 people working. I mean, but again, now, is this interactive or is this more a webinar where somebody's talking and you just are talking, or is a person going to ask a question and engage?
The live ones will be interactive.
All right, so when you on there, I'll be able to, you know how sometimes you go to the webinar and you're just watching. This is not a class where you're just watching. Somebody's gonna be able, you're gonna see me, I'm gonna see you, like I'm in a real class, and then I can unmute myself and ask a question.
You're going to be able to see the presenters, but and you'll be able to submit your questions.
Okay, got
But
you.
You won't be able to see the presenters. Won't be able to see you.
Got you. So it's more set up like a webinar where you can see you,
But you can ask questions.
but you can interact through the chat box
Yes, right.
and ask your questions just like if you were in a classroom.
Yes.
All right. So it's a huge opportunity for people to engage on that level. Okay.
How? I mean, my next question is because I think it's very important we talk about just this establishing online presence. How often do you run into businesses who have a hard time with that? Because I know it's difficult for a business to transition where they've been doing business a certain way for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So now you tell them you got to start doing something different. How hard is that? How often do you deal with businesses who have a hard time transitioning?
You know, everybody gets excited about doing marketing, right? But they think it's a one and done kind of thing, and
Right.
it's not a one and done kind of thing. It's like your doctor telling you got to exercise, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to exercise. You got to, if you're gonna get an online presence, you have to commit to it. You have
Yeah.
to keep it fresh because, and we have trouble doing that, and that's our business because we're taking care of. I understand people get busy, but you have to commit time to keep up with it.
McDonald's still run commercials.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being real. I mean, we all know what it is. We know all. Ain't nobody don't know what a Big Mac is, but they still have commercials on. Why? You know what I'm saying? You just can't stop. You mean you got to commit to it. I mean, that's a really, really important point. So now let's talk about, just right now in this moment in time, there's a lot of, obviously social upheaval going on. Are there opportunities for Black businesses out there that if they make this investment in their business, that they will be able to now to get a return on this investment by getting to other opportunities? Do you do anything to push them toward opportunity, or this is just to prepare them for the opportunity on their own?
So the plan is to use this as a stepping stone, and hopefully we can from this create more opportunities, more ideas. The people that are going to be participating in this workshop, we want to be able to also use it as a forum to hear what their struggles and their challenges are as far as business owners and entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And from there, we can use it as a platform to go to the next area of support for Black-owned businesses.
Well, one of the biggest things that happen when you go to workshops and trainings is in conferences, the opportunity for networking.
Right.
Because this is online, will there be at any point an opportunity for the other businesses there or the networking opportunities, or will there be something where people can come together at the end of this process?
Right. So we have an idea of either after every workshop or as a culmination of the series to host a networking opportunity for all of the participants of the workshop series.
Yeah.
So that's definitely on our radar as a way to get people talking and sharing their ideas to how to support each other and just sharing, overall, what have they learned from the workshop series as a whole and how they plan to use those new skills that they have developed from being a part of the series.
Okay, and if you just tuning in, I want to just let everybody know what we're talking about is the Black Businesses Matters Workshop. They will be every Wednesday for the next 6 weeks, starting October 12th.
October 7th.
October 7th, 2 weeks from yesterday. October 7th and going all the way till November, as I switch the page, to November 11th, all right? 6 workshops, October 7th to November 11th, Black Businesses Matters Workshop. If you want to go, you got to go to their website, blackbusinessworkshops.com, and you can register right online. They already got 67 people registered. Don't wait. Stop what you're doing right now. You can just type it on your phone. You can just go on the computer and register right now to make sure that you get your seat in this workshop. If you didn't catch us earlier, we got some great people. Some people you know, some people you don't know. We got great partnerships. This is an important opportunity for Black businesses, and don't miss the opportunity, community. Don't miss it. All right. So as we move to close, anything y'all want to share about the workshop or anything that's going on at Diction Schwab as we get ready to close?
No, thank you for the voice. I mean, getting the word out there. It's not going to work unless the whole community comes together. And
no question about it.
appreciate it.
What about Buffalo Urban League?
And likewise, thank you. We work really hard throughout the year to really put on meaningful and relevant programming for the Buffalo community. And this new initiative that we're putting out, we're really hoping that it could be a complement to an existing program that we've already been doing in Buffalo for the past couple years. Many people know it already, Black Restaurant Week. We hosted our 3rd annual Black Restaurant Week earlier this year, back in February, And we're definitely looking forward to hosting the next one in the 2021. But being that we are living in a new climate, a new world, a new normal, we're already thinking ahead about how this new environment is going to impact the next Black Restaurant Week. So, certainly I'm going to be paying attention to this workshop series itself as a learning opportunity for me to pretty much understand, what can I take from this to, do better and take the Black Restaurant Week to a new level, and make sure it is well rounded and within the scope of the new normal that we're in.
That's a really good point. Let me just say this, especially if you're a person that's you're a young business, or you're a person that's been in business for a while. Through COVID, we've seen a lot of businesses not make it.
Right.
I mean, and so if you one of them business that's you're teetering, you don't know if you can make it. This is one of them kind of energy infusions, information infusions that you can get that can keep you going. So if you see people out there and they got a question about whether they can keep their business going, whether they're going to be able to make it, talk to them. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, everybody. We want to make sure we're offering solutions. So much doom and gloom talking about this. We don't get enough people who are coming forth with a solution to the challenges we face. This is a solution. You get the information. If it don't apply to you, you give it to your neighbor. Give it to the business in your community. Make sure they understand. It's only an hour and a half out of your week from again, October 7th till November 11th. There's only it's an hour and a half on a Wednesday. I'm saying if you can't get it on a Wednesday, you can go and you can just watch it again. So there's no reason not to take advantage of this opportunity. So thank you so much for taking your time on and joining us here at We the Parents. And we look forward for your workshop. We're going to make sure we continue to talk about it. At what point does the door shut and you can't register no more? When does it end? So it's a rolling, and so even after you miss the first week, you can keep doing it. Well, what we'll do is every week on the We the Parents show, we're going to remind you that if you missed the first week, you can get the second week. We will make sure people know about this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? All right, thank you, appreciate it. All right, so here, everybody, here at We the Parents, we want to wrap up our show by talking to you again about We the Parents as an organization. We the Parents as an organization committed to making sure that we have a collective effort to have a vision, a plan, and actions to ensure that our children get a quality education, and ensure that our children, there's a special opportunity going on here in Buffalo, everybody. Everybody that graduates from high school in the city of Buffalo already have a scholarship. You already have college paid for. Say Yes Education and Scholarship applies to all of our children, but it don't mean anything if your children don't graduate. And so it's on us parents to make sure that all of our children graduate. All of us can't do that by ourselves. We have to work together as a team. We the Parents is a show to make sure that we have the information that we need to work together as a team. We have a monthly meeting. We have our monthly meetings in October. Next week, we're going to give you all the details. We're going to give you the website, the Facebook page, where you can join the We the Parent organization so that you can make sure that you're having the information. One of the things I learned as a parent leader, parents, is this. Your responsibility to your child is primary. But when you work with other parents in your school, it gives you way more leverage than when you talk as an individual parent. And if you work with a parent organization at the building and the district level, it gives you way more leverage. You have to have the relationships you're going to need to help your children. The parents who know, they start preparing. Matter of fact, I was in a meeting. A lot of you noticed I had the great honor of meeting President Obama and First Lady Obama. I was in a meeting with First Lady Obama, and she said this. She said, the majority of people I went to school with, parents prepared for them to go to college before they was born. You hear what she was telling us? She said that, so if you think you're ahead of the game because you're preparing for your kids to go to college when they're in 10th grade, it's people that then prepare for their children to go to college before they were born. That's what that's the competition we're dealing with. We got to get into a mindset where we're thinking about what's in the best interest of our children. We the Parents is an organization that's committed to having an intergenerational conversation. You're going to have parents whose children have long graduated, who've been part of the system, who understand it, talking to parents who are new, who just got in, making sure that there's a continuity of information. One of our major disadvantages, parents, is that what happens is when your child graduates, all our institutional knowledge graduates with you. We have parents who are who have committed to continue to give you that information. So again, you can join us every week here at Power 96.5 WUFO, and we will be here every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. talking to you about what you need. Anything we want to share before we go. Listen up, everybody. As we say, as we close out every week, power to the parents. See you next